and a lot of adults don't even know how to invest properly,
Yeah, most
because
adults.
there's
I feel like most adults do not know how to invest properly. I know in high school we did a stock market basically class,
yes.
but I don't even see that happening anymore. And I do feel that another pitfall is not when you're young, not understanding that, don't play games with your credit. Don't,
Hmm.
like, everything is being monitored. You can't get away with anything. If you charge it, you're gonna have to pay for it. And there's just this feeling like, oh, I bought it, I walked out the store, I'm good.
Yes.
But this understanding that you will have to pay that back and you're gonna pay more for it.
Yes, you pay interest, and if you don't pay it on time, you pay penalties and things like that. So who teaches our children how to use a credit card properly? Who teaches people who come from different countries who may not have ever had a credit card how to use a credit card properly and
Right.
to build your credit so that you can attain different things in this country? Because credit is very important. Back in the day, they used to say cash is king, but now credit is king. You
Yes.
can't do
Well,
a lot without credit.
yeah, and talk a little bit about how, if you really protect your credit, if you really, because there's a lot of tricks too that I feel that people fall into, because I feel like the credit card companies actually don't want people that pay everything on time perfect. I think they want that middle person who is constantly rolling their debt. And one of the things that I found with adults is banks that do the overdraft.
Mhm.
And I've seen people, adults, who are stuck in an overdraft world where literally their entire paycheck comes in to pay an overdraft and then the fees, and they're caught. How do people stop that? You know?
Well, so there's two parts to that. So when it comes to your credit and the credit card, yes, one of the things that I usually recommend is like maybe have like your phone bill or something that you pay regularly on your credit card, because that's something that you'll pay off automatically,
Mm.
right? Because you do want to use the card. You want to show usage, you want to show transaction history, but you also want to have a really good payment history. And really good payment history is usually paying it off 7 to 5 days in advance, 5 to 7 days in advance of the actual payment due date.
I
Which
didn't
is
know
a
that.
exactly, which is a lot of things, because you can actually minimize one, either getting an interest charge or getting no interest charge at all if you pay it within 5 to 7 days of the actual due date. So that's a good keynote. So I usually recommend something that you pay regularly, and you're gonna have to pay this, have that being billed to your credit card and have that on auto pay. So you just pay that off regularly to help have that transaction history. You always want to be under about 30% on the credit card on the overall credit limit. You never really want to go above that 30% mark and thresholds, because it does affect your credit history, your utilization of the card. You're using too much credit. You're looking high risk to creditors and lenders. So that's why they have that 30% utilization on the card, because you don't want to look risky.
So explain the 30%, which explain that in like the,
Layman's terms.
yeah, in the simplest way. 30% meaning what?
So if you have a credit card limit of, let's say, $10,000, you
Okay,
never want to go over spending pretty much $3,000 of revolving credit on that card.
got
You
it.
want to stay under that, because as you spend more, creditors are looking at you like, okay, this person, yes, we gave you a $10,000 limit, but you're using all of it. Why are you using all of it? And if you're using all of it, are you using all of it all the time? Are you paying it off and then using it for big ticket items? Or do you have a long standing balance on it month after month because you're just making minimum payments? You never want to make a minimum payment. You always want to pay more than the minimum. And that's another place where a lot of people make issues. You always want to pay more than the minimum. Even if it's $20 more than the minimum, pay more than the minimum. But yes, so you want to always stay under that 30% if you have a revolving balance on it. If you can't pay it all off, but try and stay under that and make more than the minimum payment monthly.
Okay. Okay. All right. That is important. I know about the minimum payment. For years I thought it was fine. Like if I pay the minimum payment, I should be fine. But in actuality, it actually doesn't help your credit,
It
actually.
does not help your credit and it does not help you because it keeps the balance lingering
Yeah.
there a lot longer.
Yeah.
You pay way more in interest charges and take way longer to pay off the credit card. So the credit card companies, the banks, everybody else, they're making money off of you.
Right. Right. So, Amara, you have spent so much time with us. What are some things that you really, really want us to know and understand? If people can walk away with one understanding, what would that be?
That it's okay to have fear of finances, anxiety when it comes to your finances, uncertainty when it comes to your finances. It's what you do with it after you acknowledge those feelings that you have, I find is important. Are you ready to take those next steps to better your financial situation? And if you are, then I would say definitely reach out to a financial advisor, do some research online, look up some tools and resources to help you on your financial journey. Just if you're going to start today.
And what if people are too intimidated, though, really, to get a financial advisor? Like, what's another way, or what's the first step? What's the first thing they should do if they?
I mean, right now there's so many people on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, giving advice that they're not licensed, they're not certified, they're just spitting out information over there. So I mean, you definitely want to do a little bit of research. If you know anybody who's had a financial advisor, word of mouth is always good. Get a referral from a friend or a family member. Your local banks usually have some type of financial advisor there too, or someone that could help you. Or, I mean, Google's everybody's best friend these days.
Um,
Or I'm available if you
yes.
need some assistance.
How can people reach you, Amara, if they have any questions? What is the way in which they can get in touch with you?
I'm definitely on social media. I'm on Instagram at Hercules Financial Services Group. You can follow me on Instagram. You can reach me via email, info@herculesfinancialsg.com, or by telephone, 913-777-4374.
And is it initial free call, or how do people like can people ask you a question? What is the
I'm
process?
always here to give out, Q&A. I definitely like giving people some advice and some tips and resources. So yes, initial consultations are always free, and I'm always available. So please reach out.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amara. I really appreciate your time, and it was great talking to you. I hope that we can talk again soon. I think there's a whole conversation to be had about training children, and getting them started with a bank account, because I will tell you, my son is better than me. So I don't have I'm not really that good at finances, but I took my son in the first grade to open up his own bank account when he was 7, and made him do everything himself. Like, I made the woman talk to him directly. while I sat there. And he's really been attuned to having a bank account really early and wanting to see his passbook and see how much
Nice.
money. He got robbed one year. I don't know who did it. And then
Was
mysteriously
mommy
the money,
dipping into the bank
yes,
account?
exactly. Then the money reappeared. Then it disappeared again. Then it reappeared. Yeah. So, and he will tell you that he got robbed.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think that that could be a whole conversation in and of itself. Um,
There's so many avenues when it comes to finances, so many branches that we can talk about. There's never enough time in the day for it. So, but children and finance is a big thing, and how we can start saving for our children. And then, yes, educating them on the tools and steps that they can do to better their future so that they're better than us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate the work that you're doing. You're doing the Lord's work,
Amen.
whether you know
Amen.
it or not. But yeah, no, I think it is so important, and for people to also remember that it is an emotional side that you can push past, and you can start small, and it's never too late.
Never too late. Start today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mara.